Gruden, as he just showed to the opposition, Michael Bankston on that last play.
Some controversy during the week as some of the media here in Philadelphia reported that Waters put his coat on the sidelines last week and did not want to report back in, but the Eagles coaching staff told us that was not the case. Waters once again.
And once again, it's Kevin Turner on the block there, leading up there for Ricky Waters. I talked about him, Kenny, and John Gruden knows he can always rely on him. Here he is here, and he comes up and makes this block here, and you see that's what opens up the hole for Ricky Waters. Now Waters, I think, dips a little too far to the inside. But again, it's Kevin Turner. You always know wherever he is blocking, he's catching, he's always going to give you everything he's got.
Second and goal. Denver looking end zone. The pass intended for the tight end Jason Dunn. Matt Darby on the coverage.
Well, that play probably reminiscent of a play that Jason Dunn made this week in practice. Because Ray Rhodes told us yesterday, he said, this guy, Jason Dunn, is an incredible athlete. Now, he's young and he's raw. He doesn't know the passing game that well, but he has the ability to leap up in the end zone and come down with the catch. Now, what Jason Dunn has to do is take that ability to do something like that and make that spectacular catch in practice and now do it in a game. That's the next step for that rookie.
Denver on third down, pump fakes, and overthrows the intended receiver, Chris T. Jones. It was Ronnie Bradford who did not start the game with the injured Achilles tendon with the coverage on Jones.
Unbelievable. Chris T. Jones looked like he didn't even make an effort for that. I mean, that's been one of the problems with Chris T. Jones all season, and one of the gripes that Ray Rhodes has had. In fact, Ray Rhodes brought in Calvin Williams this week to push Chris T. Jones because he said, hey, this guy is not giving us what we need, the effort that we need, and there was a great example of it on that play.
23-yard field goal attempt for Anderson, who's fourth on the NFL's all-time field goal list. And Anderson pushes the Eagles on top by 10 as he goes over the 100-point mark for the 9th time in his career. Well, Tim, the boys in the truck getting in on the act.
Yeah, and they look pretty good on camera, too.
We might not want to give them any more opportunities.
I don't think so. I want to jeopardize our own positions up here because I know I couldn't direct or produce.
You'd find a way. LaShawn Johnson, and he is upended by Darrell Boykin.
I mean, look, Kenny, these guys are playing with intensity. There is no doubt about it. Look at what they've done on special teams. They've come out and made plays like this. First defensive series, Mamula with the sack, the touchdown. First offensive series, come down, drive down, not come away with the touchdown, but score 3 points. So the Philadelphia Eagles looking like they wanted to look. Now, Ray Rhodes told us yesterday that in the fourth quarter of the Jets game last week, his team played the best they've played all season. He wanted to continue that through this game and carry that momentum into the playoffs.
Leland McElroy up the middle out across the 20-yard line. James Willis and Hollis Thomas in on the stop. If the Eagles win and the Vikings lose to Green Bay, the Eagles would travel to either San Francisco or Carolina, the second-place team in the NFC West. If both the Eagles and the Vikings win, or if the Eagles lose, then they would face the Dallas Cowboys in the wild card game next week. Graham under pressure once again, nearly picked off as Michael Zordich, who intercepted 2 Jets passes a week ago, was in the vicinity.
Well, they bring Don Griffin on the corner blitz, which is about as aggressive a defense as you can want, because normally you're thinking, all right, these are the guys coming on the rush, the 3-man rush. Here's the cornerback up here, and he's the guy who forces Kent Graham to throw this ball too soon. So that's the other advantage of rushing 3 men and dropping 8 to cover. You can still be safe with 7 and throw a cornerback into the mix on a blitz.
Third down and 7. Graham from the shotgun with time off the fingertips of Rob Moore. So the Cardinals go 3 and out.
And Kenny, once again, it's the strategy that the Philadelphia Eagles had coming into this game, to rush 3 guys up front and drop 3 guys into a deep zone, 5 guys into a shallow zone, and really shut down the passing game for Kent Graham. And you see it there. There's guys all around Kent Graham's receivers, forcing him to throw that ball higher than he wants to throw it.
Mark Say back deep, second punt of this first quarter by Eagles. End over end, Say waiting at the 30. Out across the 35-yard line. Ronald McKinnon made the stop. 48-yard punt, 6 yards on the return by Say. Back in Philadelphia, Kenny Albert with Jim Green. Eagles on top by the score of 10-0 midway through quarter number 1. A 4-yard fumble return by Mike Mamula and a 23-yard Gary Anderson field goal as Irving Fryer makes his first catch of the day, 85th of the season, extending his career high and the Eagles record, which he broke last week.
And Kenny, whenever you see Irving Fryer catch a pass, now you know that he's going to be guarded by Aeneas Williams, and there you see Aeneas right there. You know that Ty Detmer will not throw the ball to Irving Fryer unless there's ample space between himself and Aeneas Williams, because Ty Detmer knows that if you throw the ball and Aeneas is even close on the coverage, he has the great capacity to change direction and get himself in front of that ball for the interception.
Second down and 1 as the inside handoff goes to the fullback Turner. He has the first down. Simeon Rice in on the stop.
Well, Kenny, I started talking about Kevin Turner already, and so, you know, whenever I have a favorite guy or a guy I like to talk about, I try to throw together a book on him. He's Ty Detmer's hunting partner. He was tricked into coming to Philly by a West Coast offense, and we talked about it earlier. His nickname is Clapper. He claps for the ball when he gets out into the pass.
He's already caught 2 today, and there's the first reception of the afternoon by Chris T. Jones.
I'll finish up my book here, Kenny. Again, he's Ty Detmer's hunting partner. In the off-season, they go to a thing called Buckmasters, where they hunt trophy deer together. And then he said that when he was up in New England, they told him if he came down here to Philly, they were going to run the West Coast. He was going to handle the ball in the passing game and the running game. He said he's ended up lead blocking for Ricky Waters more than anything, but he doesn't mind it.
Lead blocking for a guy who's second in the NFC in rushing, who set a career high, who's headed to his 4th Pro Bowl.
Yeah, but you couldn't get 2 more opposite personalities than Kevin Turner and Ricky Waters. Kevin Turner, a quiet, hard-working guy. Ricky Waters, not that Ricky Waters isn't hard-working, but flamboyant, loud, obnoxious, and generally disliked.
Receivers. Detmer changing the play on the line. First down on the Cardinals 39. And once again, the sideline pattern. It's Chris T. Jones with Tito Paul on the coverage, his second catch.
Well, again, we talked earlier about Chris T. Jones and how the Eagles felt he needed to have a big day today. Because whenever Aeneas Williams is on Irving Fryer, you know that's going to slow down Fryer's production. So Chris T's challenge is against Tito Paul. And there you saw him at the bottom of the screen. And the last time these 2 teams played, Tito Paul absolutely beat Jones up one side and down the other.
Denver 5 of 7. Fryer in motion. Here's Waters first up the middle. Down to the 22-yard line. Brent Alexander made the stop.
And this is very contrary to what the Arizona Cardinals wanted to do defensively. They told us yesterday. I mean, we sat with Eric Hill and he said, look, we've got to shut down Ricky Waters right from the beginning, because if he gets momentum on you, that's when Ricky Waters is at his best. We want to shut down the outside, force him up the middle, and that's where we can really pound him. Well, they forced him up the middle on that one, and it was Waters doing the pounding.
There's Waters again. The Cardinals held him to only 64 yards rushing the first time these teams met, but he's off to a good start today.
And you can see it. And you can see it on Ricky Waters' face. Now, Ricky Waters is a guy who, when things go wrong, will pout. And he'll get mad, and he'll throw his helmet, and he'll put a cape on and hide on the bench and all those kinds of things. But he's also a guy who's tremendously talented. He has an outstanding work ethic. And if you let him get ahead of steam, he will run up and down you all day long.
Two tight ends, and the Eagles keep it on the ground with Waters. Despite his numbers this season, he finished only third among Eagles offensive players in the voting by his teammates for MVP.
And which really tells you a lot about how his teammates feel about it, because they feel a lot more strongly about Ty Detmer and Irving Fryer than they do about Waters. Because if you look at these numbers, offensively, he has had a superior year to the two guys who got voted in front of him.
Second down and 5. Charlie Garner with his first carry of the afternoon up the middle, and Bernard Wilson made the stop after the gain of 5.
Well, the Arizona Cardinals have got to check themselves. They've got to regroup, because what the Eagles are doing now is they're running Waters up the middle and to the outside. They're throwing the ball short. They're throwing the ball long. They're completing passes against Aeneas Williams, their best cover man. They're completing passes against Tito Paul, who dominated Chris T. Jones last time, and now they're running the changeup in the run game with Charlie Garner. So everything working for the Philadelphia offense.
First and goal on the 7. It's Garner once again inside the 5 to the 4.
Kenny, the Eagles are running right into the strength of the Arizona Cardinal defense. And when you can run into the strength, then you certainly can take advantage of the weaknesses, because this triangle right here, this is Swan, this is Hill, this is Bernard Wilson. Those guys are big, strong, and powerful. And what you're seeing right now is the Philadelphia Eagles winning the battle up front, dominating the Arizona Cardinals defense physically, pushing them off the ball. It's something the Eagles offensive line has not done very well in the last 6 weeks. They're getting back to it.
Denver rolling right, can't find anyone, and then throws it out of the end zone.
This is a problem that Ty Detmer had last week against the Jets. The problem being, when the primary receiver is covered, that's Irving Fryer, the other receivers, Chris T. Jones, the tight end, whoever that was on the last play, was Jimmy Johnson and Ed West. Those guys need to scramble and try to make a play, because Detmer will continue to scramble. He's got nifty feet, and he can throw the ball on the run very well. So when the primary receiver's covered, the other Eagles receivers have got to alter their routes and break into the open.
Third and goal. 3 Eagle receivers. Quick drop, quick throw. Fryer, the intended receiver.
And Ty Detmer calling for a pass interference call.
So now the field goal unit trots on for the Eagles.
Detmer, Kenny, thought that Irving Fryer was slowed down by Aeneas Williams, and that's why he overthrew that ball. And you see there, Aeneas just gets his hand on the arm. Maybe just enough to slow Fryer down in that simple slant pattern.
Anderson hit from 23 earlier. This is a 22-yard attempt. Tom Hutton, the holder. And the Eagles have extended their lead to 13-0. Second field goal of the day for Anderson. Well, Tim, some people are calling it a miracle that could bring peace to a planet or unleash hell upon the earth. Judgment Day is here. Don't miss the X-Files tonight at 9, 8 Central on Fox.
How about that guy? Huh? That guy looks scary. Of course, I'll be watching, as I always am, watching the X-Files.
You never miss the X-Files.
Nope. There's Simeon Rice on the sideline. An intense guy.
Eagles drive downfield 13 plays over 6 minutes, and they lead the Cardinals by the score 13-0. These teams played a wild game 4 weeks ago. 24 points scored in the final 3 minutes. And Vince Tobin's club defeated the Eagles 36-30. And then here today in the